Okay, welcome to our sales training. This is, of course, sales training orders in basic sales strategies and training 101. This is really a great start on how to really sell the product and really just get the most clients you can. Of course, we want you to hit the ground running, but as we mentioned before in previous talks, it does take some time to learn the system. So make sure you do learn the system, go through the system and kind of play with it, create menus, and that helps the sales process as well. So I do want to say that caveat before starting off. So with that, let's get right into it. Okay, so really the first thing you do before you start reaching out is putting two lists together of potential leads. And what I mean by that is one for restaurants that have online ordering and one for restaurants that don't have online ordering. So that's really important. So this is your leads list, and the leads are really easy to gather because of this reason. So just starting off, let's talk about the restaurants that don't have online ordering. This is a pretty easy to attack list. Also, it has its own challenges. A lot of these folks may not know about online ordering, how it works. So that is one of the hurdles that you have to look at as well. So the sources for this is pretty simple. Google Maps, go to maps.google.com, enter in restaurants for your particular area, and this will give you a good indication of all the restaurants' websites that have online ordering and don't. And it takes just a quick 2 seconds of each restaurant. Go to it, click on their website link, and then you'll obviously be able to see if they have online ordering or not. So that's really helpful to check out. The second one is doing a search on Yelp. Doing a search on Yelp, you'll see all the restaurants that are near you by proximity. You'll be able to see if they have online ordering or not just by visiting their website. And even if Eat24 provides them online ordering as well, you'll be able to see that also on Yelp. So that's a great tool to know to kind of give you that leg up when you create these leads lists. So moving on to the second way, for restaurants that do have online ordering, how do you create that leads list? It's pretty simple. The sources are, of course, Eat24 and Grubhub are just some of them. There may be many more in your area of restaurants that have online ordering. But of course, one way is when you were doing the search for restaurants that don't have online ordering, of course, that will add to it when you see the folks that do have it from various sources. But just go into eat24.com, doing a search. These are all paying customers. Go to grubhub.com. These are all paying customers for online ordering. So this is a great way for you to be able to check that out and create your second leads list. And of course, you're going to adjust your scripts accordingly, and we'll talk about that in the next slide. But this is step one of really getting your sales together and how you're going to proceed to really direct your sales strategy toward that particular client. So before you start reaching out, again, adjust your scripts accordingly. And you can use our email scripts. If you go into your admin panel and check your resources area, you're going to see two types of email scripts, one for those that have online ordering, one that those clients that don't, the potential leads that don't. And that's a great way to do it. You can use those email scripts. Please do edit those templates. Don't just wholesale use them. Add your own verbiage to them. The competitive advantages, we've added a few of those. Add a couple more that you can see. And you can go to OrdersIn.com and you can see some of those as well in our How It Works area. And that kind of helps you as well update your script. And even if you decide to call them using a phone for your quick phone script too, that's a great way to kind of get a leg up on it. So of course, in the scripts, you've got the email scripts. And the thing is when you do reach out to them or whether you use email scripts, it's important to know those advantages. I notice you don't have online ordering for your business. So here are the reasons why you should. And again, the reasons you can find on OrdersIn.com, the How It Works page. There's great competitive advantages there on what it is. And of course, just kind of naming them off, you've got the pricing that stands. You've got the multiple ways for customers to order. just all the different ways, especially the fact that they can get more walk-in traffic, more online ordering traffic in as well. All those things are important. And then also on the flip side, I notice you have online ordering with whatever the competitor may be, competitor X. Here's why my service and system is better. More ways for the customer, again, to order online. Pretty much very similar competitive advantages. But again, there's a little bit of variation in terms of clients and those that don't have online ordering and don't really know why, of course, then you have to kind of direct it that way. And those that already have online ordering, sometimes it's easier because they already know why they need it. They just want to know why your service is better. You're going to be able to save them more money. You're going to give them way more ways for their customers to order online. And then, of course, you're not going to have the shackles that you have with Grubhub and Eat24, which is they get paid a month after the transactions were made. That's when Grubhub and Eat24 sends the money to the restaurants, a month after. So, and of course, they take their 15 or 20% cut and then send them a check. So this is a great way because they get their money with OrdersIn and your service. They get the money instantly. You invoice them a month after, or at the end of the month, you invoice them. So that's important to mention too. And of course, most folks have already seen that. They've got that in their email scripts as well, but it's important for you to know. And just while we're on the topic as well, they're building their own brand with OrdersIn and your service in particular. They're really building their own brand by not diverting their customers to another site, to Grubhub or Eat24, where there's thousands of other restaurants that they can choose from, that their customers can choose from, and might decide, hey, I don't want to, I saw some reviews that look like this restaurant's not that good. Let me go to this other restaurant that I found, or one of these other 100 results that I found. So with OrdersIn, they've got online ordering on their own website. They're building their own brand. They're not driving the traffic away and saying, hey, go to this other site and order online from 100 other options. No, they've got online ordering at Bob's Burgers. They order directly from Bob's Burgers. Their customers go nowhere else. So that's really important to mention as well. So another thing, and we'll talk about that in our pro tips. We've got a couple more slides that address this as well. And so again, getting back to this, it's important to note that Grubhub, Eat24, what are the other various online ordering systems that are out there. They're driving traffic away from the site. So there's no way for them to build their brand. And the main thing to mention as well is that you've got restaurants on an online ordering, a local search engine. So they're a part of that already. They've got online ordering for their own website. They've got online ordering for their Facebook page. They're simply not going to get that with Grubhub and Eat24. Not to mention the other advantages that we mentioned as well, being on OrdersIn. So again, OrdersIn.com/how it works. What are the benefits of online ordering for local business? You want to check that out. And of course, the competition's core problems for additional information on that. So let's talk about reaching a decision maker. This is definitely not something that's mandatory, but it does help tremendously. So calling the restaurants to introduce yourself, that helps. And you don't have to call them and give them a long spiel or anything like that. What you're doing is you're always going to ask to speak to the decision maker first. A quick intro of who you are, what you offer, that's really all you need to tell them. And obviously mention the fact that you're local, mentioning the fact that you own an online ordering company, and you can always mention the fact that you're backed by OrdersIn, which is a multinational online ordering company processing thousands of orders daily, and so this gets that trust going as well. But again, keep it short, keep it simple. It's a 30-second introduction of who you are, just so you can send that email, and then they're expecting that email from you. That's the main thing. And even if you run into an employee, that's completely fine. You can either ask when a decision maker will be back, or you can just ask for the decision maker's direct email address. That's completely fine as well. But it's great to ask for that direct email address to send the information to the service. And then, as you see in the note mentioned as well, getting a decision maker's email really helps making sure your email gets read. And just think about it. If OrdersIn just sent you out of the blue, they just sent you information on, hey, here's our online ordering service that you can start providing online ordering. It's not likely that you're really going to open the email and take it seriously. But if you have either solicited on OrdersIn for giving you more information, or in the case of this, you're basically you got a call from someone from OrdersIn that said, "Hey, this is an online ordering business. We know that you're looking for some type of thing." You're more acceptable or more open to knowing what that information is and opening the email and being more responsive with it. So that's important to mention as well. So, again, getting that decision maker's email helps tremendously. You don't absolutely happen to. So even if you can't get a decision maker to come to the phone or get their email, um, send it through the business's website. Usually businesses have at a minimum contact forms or a contact email to send to, and managers and owners do check that, especially these local businesses. So there's definitely always a way to get to them. So let's move on to the pro tips. So these are just, and not really in any particular order, but just tips that really work for our licensees that have been with us for a couple of years. They've shared this information, so of course we're sharing this. It's also a little bit of best practices as well. So one thing that's definitely helped is partnering with local companies that serve restaurants and retailers. And when I mention local companies, I'm really talking about like the digital branding companies. I'm talking about the printing companies that print out everything from their menus to flyers that just work with other businesses in general. Restaurant supply companies, and obviously local advertising companies. So these are all great businesses. A lot of them have been in the area for 10, 15, 20 years serving local businesses. They have good reputations, and that's really what you want to partner up with, especially if you're looking to partner, is businesses that have been in the area, they have a reputation already, and so restaurants trust them. So this is a great way to work out different things like, hey, I'm offering online ordering through my company. Are you interested in advertising our services along with yours? I would love to work out maybe a commission based partnership or maybe even a month to month revenue sharing or something like that, just to get the conversation going. Because again, these guys have been in the business for a while, and this is a great business for them to add on to their portfolio of services as well, and something that they can maybe partner with you on to serve other local businesses. So just one pro tip, we've got some licenses that do that, and they've had great success with that. The other thing that we've kind of gained wind on as well from a few licensees is targeting local hotels. And this is really a no-brainer. We've mentioned this in our other sales training as well. See if you can leave flyers in each room. Some of our licensees have actually cut deals which allow them to do this. So basically when a customer of the hotels has checked in, they get a flyer and says, hey, here are um, the local dining institutions. They offer delivery or they don't. But anyways, they have something they can choose to, because again, they don't have, most of them don't have kitchens in there. They're going to be eating out. So this is a great time for them to get a flyer of yours, of your website. And you can even feature restaurants on the front of those flyers as well and charge them extra and say, hey, this is going to all the local hotels in the area, and you can be featured on here. So that way they can call you directly to get food. So just another tip there. Third tip, set up the menu for the business. This is an interesting one. It plays a little bit on the psychological attachment to the logo that managers and owners have, especially owners. Setting up their menu and showing them what it could look like when they're your potential client or when they become your client. This is a great way to kind of set up just the appetizers, put their logo on there, and show it to them and say, hey, this is just a sample of what your menu would look like. It's a great way to kind of shop it around as well, and get that interest. And it also shows that you sort of put that custom touch on it to let them know that you went above and beyond for their business. So that's a great way too. Um, Fourth bullet here on the slide, some licensees will pick up food or dine in and start up the conversation with the manager, the owner. And what this is really implying is when you're doing business with someone else, they're more likely to do business with you. If you just walk into a restaurant and say, hey, I've got online ordering and you don't have it and you should have it, it's not likely to work as good as you were coming in to pick up food and just say, I noticed you didn't have online ordering on your website, and my company happens to offer online ordering for local businesses in the area, and I'd love to have you try it out. That's a great way because you're getting something from them. You've already obviously paid them, and they're more interested to hear what you have to say and say, yeah, send me an email and I'd like to see what you got as far as demos and things like that. So that's a great way again to get that business going, directly with the decision maker, face to face. That doesn't mean, do to go at every restaurant in the area. Just if you happen to dine in or pick up food, throughout the week, which a lot of families, a lot of people do, that's a great way to start up a conversation with them. Obviously have your game plan together as far as your 30-second spiel about what you're going to say about your company. But again, a great doorway into that kind of thing that can lead to sales very easily as well. So another one, this is a really good one. So I'll tell you a lot of problems that we have with new licensees, and we'll get to a couple more here, that the mistakes that they do make is they go in too high. They go in without really understanding how much their demographic is willing to pay for this service. And they go in asking just a lot of money, huge setup fees and huge monthly fees, and then maybe not get a lot of success. And then they just end up thinking, hey, this didn't work, so I quit. And what they really didn't check out is maybe their demographic needs a lower pricing or a trial. And the reason that we recommend trials, especially giving about 2, 3 months of a free trial to a business, what happens is that gets their customers starting to order. They could put a flyer up on their front door. They could put a flyer by the cash register area, and it lets people know that, hey, we have online ordering now. If you took a phone order and now you're picking up food, now you can just order from your phone next time. You don't have to call in and not be able to see the menu or what have you. You can just go to your phone, go to our website, and make the order. And what this does is this gets their customers ordering. It gets the restaurant seeing that this is definitely an extra revenue source. Their customers are using. Additional customers are starting to go to the site. They're getting online ordering from the search site, and all the different various ways they can make orders. And what happens is this is the best way to start getting long-term clientele. Because what new licensees fail to understand is that you don't just get a bunch of clients within the first month or two. It's a progression. It's a progression of not only understanding the system for yourself, but also for folks in your area to start getting the system and using it and having trust in it. So that's important. So a free trial is something we highly recommend. You don't have to do it off the bat, but if you don't get much success, think about doing a free trial. Again, it's really best to obtain clients first at low rates, since they end up being long-term customers. So even if you gave them a couple months free, they're going to be your clients for years to come. Think about that. Think about the long-term thousands of dollars you make really a year from each client. And then you'll understand why this makes sense. And it also helps you build up your portfolio of local businesses that are using your service. So that's really important to mention as well. So you can always lean on that. If you got a couple down, then you can say, hey, by the way, uh, Joe's Burgers is already using it. Mike's Pizza is already using our platform. So this gives you a better reason of why your restaurant should be using it as well. And by the way, there's a free trial, so you can try it out. Your customers can start making orders online, and it's a great way to drive new traffic as well to your restaurant. So very important. So the second bullet here, using the OrdersIn name, we've got questions before to say, should I say this is my own business, or should I say that I'm backed by another business? Starting off as a first-time entrepreneur, especially, or if you don't have an existing company, it is important to let them know that you are backed by something bigger than just you. This is not a one-man or a two-man operation. This is much bigger than you, that you are a franchisee or a licensee of OrdersIn, which is a multinational company, processes thousands of orders a day. This gains trust with the business owner, again, that lets them know that you're being backed by something larger. So that, this is a great tip. Sometimes a lot of franchises go in there and start telling restaurants that they own all these online ordering services. They have all of these folks, support staff working for them. It just doesn't make a lot of sense, because it takes 2 to 3 questions for them to figure out that you may not be telling the truth. So, this is a white label opportunity, but at the same time, it's best to be as transparent as possible. And sometimes letting them know that you're backed by something larger than just you, it helps tremendously. So just another tip there. So moving on to the third tip. Consider offering additional services. This is a great one, especially if you're planning to go full-fledged with this. offering services that restaurants really need. And I can tell you off the bat, marketing and advertising definitely tops their list. Restaurants want more customers in there. So being able to help them, especially with the online marketing and advertising, that's a really big deal. So whether you offer that as a separate package or whether you offer that as part of your trial period or part of your package, that with online ordering is completely up to you, but just letting them know that you're going to be able to offer online ordering, including the marketing and online advertising that they need, that's really important to them as well, because a lot of restaurants are not capable, they don't have the resources, they don't have the know-how to really promote themselves online. And this goes about 80% of restaurants locally. So that's a great thing as well. Managing their social media, that's another good one as well. A lot of restaurants don't have any social media presence, so just telling them that part of their package includes managing social media, making it an add-on package that you can create their Twitter, their Facebook, their Instagram page, and maybe post for them every now and then to get their customers involved. That's a great thing too. A lot of these businesses don't have this kind of time, so the fact that you're offering more than just one or two things, whether it be online ordering and delivery, the fact that you're a full service online ordering, marketing and social media management company, that there's not many people that do that locally. Think about it. If you look around your area, they don't. So think about all the extra things you can offer them. We've had one licensee that actually will go in and take pictures for an additional amount of their food. So they'll make each food, and as it comes out, this person will take pictures and charge, whatever it may be, a couple $100 to maybe even $1,000 or whatever it may be to spend some time and take pictures for the menu. So just think about other creative ways as well of offering different services. It gives them a lot more incentive to use your core business, which is online ordering. So I got this one in bold, and the reason it's in bold, this last bullet here on this slide, is because delivery is by far the most exploding service that any of our licensees have offered and have had tremendous success at, in some points, more than 90% of a success rate, just because restaurants need delivery, they want delivery, but they don't have the resources and they don't want to deal with it in most cases. So if you're already providing online ordering, it's a shoo-in for you to provide delivery. Is it easy? Absolutely not. You need to have a game plan together as far as the resources, in terms of who's making the delivery, whether it be you, yourself, employees. That's all important. But the system is completely capable for delivery. It's being used right now. In fact, some of our biggest franchisees are delivery services. So being able to get the orders in at the same time as the restaurant, you see the address, you can go pick up the food, you can pay for the food, make the delivery, and you get the delivery charge as well, all up front when they make the order. It's a great business. It's something restaurants are really interested in and maybe more likely to sign up as well. So, consider offering delivery service. It's a high demand service. And again, natural growth driver. It's just going to continue growing your business. And you may be known as the delivery service in your area and not just online ordering. So definitely something to think about if you have some inclination, if you thought about it in the past as well. But again, not mandatory. Again, you're offering online ordering. That's your core service. So delivery is not something you absolutely have to, but it is a next step and a very great next level to do. So this next one, on this first bullet here on this slide, this is something that newbies make a lot of newbies. I would say nearly all of them have made this mistake. Whatever you do, when you send out these email scripts or your emails or whatever communication you have with local businesses, do not send it under your personal email. Don't send it under joe@yahoo.com or joe@gmail.com or whatever your email is right now. Don't send it. It's literally like walking in cargo shorts and a tank top and telling them that you're offering them online ordering or you own an online ordering business locally. They're not going to take you seriously. Make sure that you have your own domain and your own email for that domain when you send out your email communication. So if your name is John, then john@houstonorders.com. That's pretty good. Sales@houstonorders.com, or whatever, at newyorkorders.com. Whatever your website is, make sure that's your domain name. How do you do this? if you use GoDaddy, you can do it through GoDaddy. You can use it through you can update and add emails through your domain provider. So that's how you do it. Um, so again, don't use your personal Gmail, Yahoo, MSN, Hotmail, whatever. Don't use that account. Use your domain. You paid for the domain, you can get emails as well. It should be included as part of your domain. Okay, so let's move on to the second. Now we're getting to the good stuff. Um, Good target restaurants. I always get asked that. Who should I really be targeting, and who are my target restaurants? Well, your first target restaurants are definitely locally owned businesses, whether that be restaurants or retailers. We always talk about restaurants, but of course, retailers are included in this conversation. Good target restaurants are definitely the small mom and pop restaurants, locally owned franchises. Sometimes they can have multiple locations. That's fine as long as the owner's local. Chinese, definitely at the top of the list. Chinese restaurants do the highest to go orders in the world, not even the United States, in the world. More people do to go restaurants than dine in at a Chinese restaurant. More people do to go from a Chinese restaurant than, even in most cases, even pizza delivery places, believe it or not. So Chinese, great place. Mediterranean, people don't think about that. Indian, burger, pizza, Thai, Mexican, whatever. Those follow at close seconds. But the Asian restaurants, I'm going to include them all together. Asian, Chinese, Vietnamese, Thai. Those are definitely the big ones. So think about that. I would definitely say, this kind of leads to the third bullet here. Reach out to the high volume, more priority restaurants after you've sort of gotten your feet wet with the other restaurants. Um, and what happens is this ensures that you've kind of got everything worked out as far as your sales pitch. You understand what kind of questions they're going to ask. You're anticipating how you're going to answer those. That takes a little bit of time, so don't go out and just reach out to all these Asian restaurants right away. Reach out to some of the other ones and get everything worked out. Then reach out to those once you're confident that you know how to get answer their questions and you know how to get those sure shot restaurants on board. Because those are definitely the money makers, even in terms of if you're doing a percentage. Chinese restaurants do the highest amount of revenue through to go, so you're able to get a pretty solid percentage out of that as well. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Ooh, okay, so that actually, yep, that concludes this presentation. Feel free to shoot an email at help@ordersin.com if you have any questions about sales strategies, questions about this presentation, things like that. We're always here to help as well. And again, it's definitely a learning process. Like with any business, it does take a little bit of time to understand how the system works, how your sales strategy should be, and kind of how your demographic works. And to get that entire 360, it's experience, and it requires hitting the hurdles and hitting the challenges and getting past those. Giving up too easy, that's the easy way out. And that's definitely not going to help in any case, whether you continue with this business opportunity or move on. It's not going to work. So definitely stick with it. We're always here for questions, so feel free to shoot us an email, a help desk ticket as well, and we'll answer those as well. Okay, with that, we'll end this, and thanks for joining.